Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hey, everyone. Soulful Saturday. Whittier, California. Hello. That's my hometown. Went to Whittier High School. Richard Nixon's high school. There you go. That's my claim to fame. I'm also in the Whittier High School Hall of Fame, by the way, with John Lasseter, who is... John Lasseter was Pixar. He's Toy Story. That was his big thing. And he was also my girlfriend's, my best friend's boyfriend. So I did lots of double dates with him. I know John forever. I did not know Richard Nixon, though I did shake his hand. How do you like that? So Whittier, there's our connection. Jocelyn, Kathy, Marguerite, Joanne, Shauna. Come on. Shauna's in the house too, you guys. There's my girl Nancy, number one, to sign up, by the way, for Full Bloom. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Susan's here. Angie's here. Lucy's here. Juanita. Hello, Jackie, Elizabeth, Corliss, Suzanne. Hello, Elizabeth. Another Elizabeth. We got the Elizabeths in the house, don't we? Or do we have double Elizabeths? I don't know. Maybe not. Lucy's here. Gloria's here. Marianne's here. I'm really glad you're all here. Did I get everybody? Margaret, I wouldn't miss you. She's got lime rosemary water. Wow. Sounds really good. Well, I've got my hot melt mix on. It's hot here. I don't know about y'all, but we're having some weather. 77 in the shade at this hour. You know what that means? It's going to be cooking. So we got the air conditioning on for the first time in forever. So welcome everybody to Soulful Saturday. This whole week, we've been talking about high vibe living and what vibrations truly are. How they're not woo-woo, how we're not talking about some mystical new age phenomenon. We're talking about actual science and how emotions are connected to that and they can actually measure it. There's a thing we have two Elizabeths. I know that Elizabeth. I wasn't sure which Elizabeth I was saying hello to. And there's Martha too. She's in the house as well. Martha, you should connect with June because I know Martha lives in Pico Rivera and June lives in Whittier. I'm connecting my Whittier girls. You know, that's what I do. It's been a long time since I've been to Whittier. Actually, that's not true. I was in Whittier for the Hall of Fame thing because I was inducted in 2015. So it was pretty cool. Elizabeth is my daughter's middle name too. Caroline Elizabeth, by the way. So speaking of that, you guys, I need a magical unicorn property for my daughter and son-in-law. We're having some issues putting this whole thing together. Would you just ask, pray, put out the good vibe, juju, fill in the blank, whatever. I'm just really looking for that. And I appreciate anything, any offer, any ideas that you have. I'd love to find a for sale by owner kind of a thing, you know, and even financing by the owners. They happen. So Caroline, you know, as a self-employed woman, young woman, it's very difficult. So anyway, you checked in Claudette storm this morning. Looks like it missed you. I didn't even know there was a storm. So there it is, Kathy. That's how much it shows. So anyway, so we don't have any storm. We just have warm. It's just nice and warm out there. Simone has joined us. So has Jane. I'm so glad you're all here. So we're going to wrap up this whole nice little package of this high vibe versus low vibe living. And again, remember, this is all based on science. It's all measurable. And even up to emotions and objects and everything has a vibration. All things are energy. This is what Tesla told us, is that the secret of the universe is that all things are energy, vibration, and frequency. Very interesting. It's fascinating and interesting stuff. And I told you at the very beginning of the week about this fabulous video that you needed to watch, how sand vibrates. The higher the vibration, the more intricate and the more beautiful the whole deal is with what sand does. It makes these incredible patterns and you can see them. There they go. My boys are going for a walk. Isn't it so cute? Yay! Anyway, you like my charming scarf? Well, you should see the charming frizz underneath here. All of this. It's just my hair is just not cooperating today with any of this weather, so I'm just going to go with it. Isn't that neat? June and Martha are going to connect. I just love putting people together. And there is my Joanne. She is here. After show smoothies, then off to the beach. Oh, she's got trucks coming. It's all happening. It's all happening. Joanne's moving. And of course, you know, our lovely Joanne, we have her in prayers. They're going from Florida to Georgia, you know, always, and there's complications, right? There's always complications. But we have her tucked in our prayers and in our hearts because we love her so much. Wasn't it? Nancy said it was so fantastic to watch the sand vibrations. Yes, it is. Juanita said we have the sisterhood of the frizzy hair, and she's absolutely right. She posted her high ponytail club. By the way, this is still high ponytail club. How many of you are members of the high ponytail club? Everybody's been putting their pictures on Facebook, and I have been just absolutely loving it. Speaking of pictures, if you have not seen the picture of Sarah in her full regalia, complete with tiara, rose-colored glasses, but in the shape of hearts, of course, and her droppy earrings and the whole bit, you're missing out. And go read the post. It was really hilarious. Speaking of living in high vibe, that's high vibe, I say. Hello, Carol. I see Gwen as well. Good. I'm so glad she's here. And there's Jocelyn. Now that's an answer right there. Did you see what Joanne said? Always, but we just roll with the punches. Don't we all need to be like that, right? I think that's high vibe living too, is being able to roll with the punches, being able to just say, you know what, we're not going to let that derail us. So today, what we're going to do is just tie up all the loose ends and just put a bow on it and say, okay, this is something that I need to have in my vocabulary. This is something I need to have in my life. And this is something that indeed needs to be a thing, right? A thing. Are you ready for this? Who's drinking their, this is, by the way, who's drinking their hot milk mix? Speaking of living in high vibration. Hi, Susan. I'm glad you're here. There's Lucy. Mm-hmm. And Jocelyn is already doing her pinkies up. So I love that. Jocelyn, follow Jocelyn's lead. We're going to do all of that. Also, we have our new quote of the week. Are you ready for this? It's so good. Speaking, because we've been talking about vibration, this kind of just makes it. There is beauty in everything, just not everybody sees it. Do you remember what we talked about, the difference in seeing a sunset versus experiencing it? Hello, Andy Warhol. He just called it, didn't he? He just called it. All right. Sarah just got back from the morning at the pool. Hey, I was just telling everybody to go see your pictures on Facebook where you got all dressed up, complete with a hoodie and a tiara, which, you know, they go together, right? Anyway, Suzanne, I'm so glad you're here as well. I think we have 2 Suzannes in the house today. Marguerite says she's drinking her smoothie. That's okay. We're drinking our things, aren't we? I just love it. I'm just glad you're here, Suzanne. We also have our early bird tickets on sale right now. And boy, did you surprised me. Just like boom, boom, boom. Everybody was buying their tickets. Keep buying your tickets. They will never be this low, and they are going up on Tuesday. No lie. We're going to keep it out all the way till Monday. So start thinking about it. Start making your plans, especially if you can be here in person. Do you know that we have as many people here in person as have taken the virtual ticket? Do you know how delighted that it makes me and how excited I am? You can turn this into an event. It's flying into Asheville or Charlotte or Greenville, however you want to do it. Shortest way, of course, is Asheville, North Carolina. And it's 17 miles from the airport into Brevard. And then from there, you have to get, a little bit further. The VIP event, everybody's coming. Mark is going to be on that boat continually. And may I make a suggestion? Start practicing your stairs now. It's no joke, these stairs. They're going to make you work for it. Now, if you have, if it's going to be unattainable for you, that's fine. We can have another option. We will drive people around to the pier and pick you up from the pier on the boat. But it's going to be a short spin. And if we have to, we'll lottery ticket those going on in the boat. All the action is going to be at the house anyway. And I mean, it's just going to be so much. Oh, Joanne, I just can't wait. I just Can't wait to hug your neck. It's been a few years. So we have that. The early bird tickets are just, they're popping and they're going off, and they are limited, not for virtual, of course. I mean, we could have a bazillion people there. Wouldn't that be fun? But for the VIP, we do have a limit on that. And we also have a limit on how many people we can take for our in-person event. And when it's time to cut it off, we will. So early bird gets the worm and the cheapest seats. You ready? You ready for that? savingdata.com/bloom for all the details. All the details. Yay, yay, yay. Marianne's coming. I'm so glad. Marianne's been with me forever and ever. Amen, too. And a member of the High Ponytail Club, by the way. The other thing that we have is just, we have tools galore. And coming up very shortly, these cards, if you don't have this quote deck, they will be out of circulation. You know why? We've got new ones coming. We have new ones coming, and I want you to get these ones while you still can. All right? Here's one of the things that I think is so good. One of the cards. I'm just going to read you one. And I play this quote deck roulette and choose different cards to kind of light me up and to create a mindset for myself for the morning. So here's a cool one that I really love is fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will cause others to join you. Beautiful. If it doesn't evolve me, it doesn't involve me. Talk about a truth bomb. All of these things, these are nuggets we need to plant in our head and start creating better ways of thinking about things and framing things. Don't you think? That's what these do. Those are the quote decks at savingdata.com/quote. We also have a few mindful mugs left, which are somewhere in this mass. I have all these supplements from yesterday still sitting on my desk. I got to do a big cleanup. Don't put this in the dishwasher, but do get one. A mindful mug is not a coffee cup. You'll find out about it at savingdata.com/mug. Game changer. Everybody has one, right? Don't we? Everybody does. All the High Ponytail Club does anyway. And then there's our journals, which also are sitting here stuffed full of supplements. And this is basically will take you in 12 weeks. We'll give you a year's worth of accomplishments with your goals in 12 weeks. It's fantastic. How is the car? My car's fine. Are you asking me? Anyway, savingdata.com/journal. And I give you the whole course that goes with it as well. Pretty fun, right? Those are things that we have, and they're in place. We also have our supplements of the week are the core four. There's 1, 2. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, good. 3, 4. There they are. Buy 3, and you're going to get the 4th set free. 3 sets, right? And you know what? You guys bought so many of them that we have the CoQ10 got all sold out. It did. But it's going to be back in stock on Monday, and we're still going to ship it. We're still going to honor it. This special, though, goes away on Monday. So you don't want to miss out on this. This is a great way. You're saving $59, for heaven's sakes. savingdata.com/show. And also it'll tell you all about the supplements. Those are the things that I have to tell you. Speaking of, you have a quote to suggest for a future deck? Kathy, yes, send it in. I love Nora Roberts, by the way. Of course I do. Yes, send it in, please. I would love to see that. What was the other thing that I was going to tell you? The gala, put that on your calendar, the 13th and the 14th. You don't want to miss this. You don't even want to miss the introduction. You don't want to miss any of it. Do you know what we're unveiling? Do you know what all the surprises that are coming? I'm not going to tell you. And you know how bad I want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you. We have a new product. We have a new big time announcement. You don't get to see it until you come to the gala. That's all. Mark your calendars. It's going to be, I know. Jenny's shushing me. She's shushing me. I can't wait for the gala though. Get your glitter on. You have to dress in razzle dazzle for the evening event. Right, Amber? Right? 24-hour drive. That's nothing. You can do it. Look at Sarah. She's counting the days. Are you kidding? A birthday surprise for you, Joanne? Of course. Of course. The gala is going to be virtual. The whole thing is going to be virtual, Gloria. You can't come to my house for that. So it's going to be good. And Jenny's driving from Montana. She's bringing the whole fam, the hook, line, and sinker, including the dog. She's probably going to have a blender in the car. Yeah, bring your blender, by the way. We're going to need it, Jenny. You too. You too, Amber. We're going to need your blenders. Thank God they're driving. It's going to be so much fun. Nancy says Razzle Dazzle is her middle name. I love it. And a Vitamix. I have a Blendtec. And I think, what do you have, a NutriBullet? No, somebody has. But anybody who's driving, bring blenders. We'll need them. Yeah, because I'm going to be giving you smoothies. Yeah, so much fun stuff. I could sit here and tell you all the fun things that we've got going, but I have been shushed. I have been officially shushed by Jenny. Jenny's a shusher. I never thought that about you, Jenny. Yes, that's it. She has a Ninja. Can you bring your NutriBullet? Sarah, you're flying. Keep room in your suitcase for goodies that you might want to buy while you're here. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. You can always send stuff to the house too, and we can always send it back to you as well. Just letting you know. Fun. Joanne's got a Vitamix. Bring it, Joanne. I love this. We'll have like 18 Vitamixes set up. There will be no waits for smoothies. I love it. So that's all the things that we have going. And I could sit here and talk about all of this and talk about it because do you know how high vibe we are right now about this as a team? We are lit up and so excited. And no, this is going to stitch us together as a community. So we love it. And the fact that you guys you're driving. Okay. I know that this is great. I will take it all. But you know what? The fact that you guys want to help us out and bring blenders, that just tells you, like, I could borrow a cup of sugar from you if I had needed sugar. Do I need sugar? No. So you know what I'm saying. So you know what? I was thinking about this today, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? We've said all we could say. But you know what? When you circle the wagons and you start to think about what is all this high vibe stuff about, it really is the ultimate alignment assignment that we are given as women who desire to live better lives. We're wise women. We want to step up into that life, right? We want to step up into the place where vibrancy is just the way. It's not something that we're constantly seeking and hoping for and desiring in our hearts and saying, yeah, but look at my desk. I mean, really, my desk is a disaster. Look at everything. Look what the heck is going on here. But what we are looking at here instead is that our alignment is in complete 100% connection, in 100% connection to the actual things that we want. And we're doing the things to get us the things that we want. We're stopping the resistance, and we're allowing the allowance. Does that make sense? Because I think the worst enemy sometimes that we have is our own thought life. The worst enemy that we have for getting the things that we want is falling back into old things that never worked before. And yet here we are thinking, oh, maybe those crackers are a good idea. Remember I told you the cheese and cracker story yesterday? That was just like, wait a second, I've practiced this for a very long time. Why would I even think about that? Why would I even think about that? That reminds me, probably 5 years ago, I was absolutely starving and in the Denver airport, and my flight had been delayed. I was sitting right next to, or very close to, the McDonald's, and all of a sudden it started smelling good. And I thought, I was looking at myself and going, who are you? You don't want that. You know what that is. But that's what we do. There's old voices that are going to come back. They're going to come back. Even though you are done with all of this, even though your thoughts and your calling and everything else is all connected to the things that you want, we still have the old stuff that doesn't just magically, boom, go away. Oh, did you see that? The light got better when I did that. Yay, Gloria just got her ticket for Full Bloom. I'm so glad. But you understand what I'm saying. You understand exactly what I'm saying. When we're out of alignment with the things that we want and we're doing the exact opposite that we don't want, it's from our old ways. It's from our old low vibe stuff. And when we find ourselves identifying, this is high vibe, this is what I want, and we align those things together and we put it in an alignment assignment, say that fast 3 times, we have an alliance. An alliance. And I love that what alliance means, a mutual union formed for mutual benefit. It's exactly what happens. Do you know what happens? You know what I'm talking about when I say that? You know what the mutual benefit is? The mutual benefit is that you benefit, you ease the constant conundrum and the resistance in your head, and you're getting the benefit from doing the thing that you want. And you're finally pushing through the resistance and getting back in return all those wonderful benefits. It's just really remarkable what happens. Like the difference between, have you ever done this where you're driving along on a gravelly driveway, blah, 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 like bumpity bump, then all of a sudden you hit the pavement and it's finally smooth? That's an alignment assignment right there. And this is what happens to us when we are so used to driving on those bumpy, lumpy, obstacle potholes everywhere, those kind of roads. And then to hit a road where it's nice and smooth like that, and that it seems easy. Not that we don't have to keep looking, not that there couldn't be another gravel driveway ahead, but that's the difference between being in high vibe and low vibe. And when our thoughts and our goals and everything is in alignment, we are vibing at the top of the world. The obstacles are out of the way. The resistance, we finally put the resistance, we've yeah-butted that and put that away. Our yeah-buts have ceased to exist, thank God. So alignment is when we stop the dual living, really. And that's what we suffer from. That we talked about before. Remember the Dr. Dolittle thing of the push me, pull you, going one way or the other. And it's just, we feel that pressure. We feel that pull inside, and the push sometimes as well. And what happens is that the regret dissipates and the ease shows up and gives us the peace that we're seeking when we finally get into this alignment. So an alignment means an arrangement in a straight line, it means a correct or appropriate relative positions, or a position of agreement or an alliance, or getting your little ducks in a row, right? Getting your ducks in a row. And I love that, because that's exactly what high vibes are, is having things in a row, feeling and seeing the peace. I mean, we talked about visual peace before, and how important visual peace is, because peace, you cannot have peace without having it all in the different places. You need peace in your heart. You need peace in your vision. Is it peaceful and easy to be in a place when you're like right now? I could not sit here and work in my desk. It's a complete disaster. I've got 10 minutes of cleanup here. No big deal, but I'm just letting you know that's exactly it. We need to put all of these things in order. And when we understand that these are the components, these are the moving pieces that make this all happen, that's when we finally get into the place of being in high vibe, and get into the place of visual and inner peace. It just works that way. And when we blend and align our inner alliance, if you will, our heart, mind, body, and soul, we are just firing on all cylinders. Have you noticed how that works? Have you felt that? I've seen it over and over and over again in your posts, in the Hot Milk 30. Everybody doing, I'm feeling really good today. I'm feeling on top. I'm living a high vibe life, including a high ponytail club. That's part of the high vibe thing. All of this, because you know what that is? This is what we're hungry for. This is what we're thirsty for. And we mistakenly think that it's food or that something's going to do. And let me ask you a question. All of you who are fellow, pinkies up food addicts like I am, have you ever once caved to a food, caved to something and eaten it? Have you ever once said, I'm so glad I did that? as opposed to saying, I just don't want to do my exercise thing today, or I just don't want to drink any more water. And you did it anyway. And you think, man, I'm so glad I did it. Those are the kind of things that we're talking about, because when we get past the yeah buts and the oh, I just don't want to, and we get past that and do it anyway, there's no regret there ever. Not ever. But there is regret and low vibeness when we do something that we really think that we want to do. And I will tell you too that, and I'm saying this as a fellow food addict, that while psychological stuff or the maybe the food addiction stuff starts to dissipate and go away, and you've L-glutamined yourself, I still keep my L-glutamine here, right? That your L-glutamine is here, and all of that. We've got all of that going on, right? You know what else we have going on? We've got our whole, this is the way we used to eat, and this connotation of eating this food with this person means love. So we got a lot of that stuff going. But when I'm talking about this actual physiological stuff, when we finally get past that, we've also now too, at the same time and further thereafter, start dealing with the emotional components. What are you going to do instead of going to food for your comfort? What are you going to do instead of, what is your instead of list? That's a good thing to do. We can do, this is what I do. This is what I want to do instead of. That is a good alignment assignment, by the way, because then we have options. And I don't know about you, but me, I need my checklists. I need to make constant lists. I use my journal. I use this, that, and the other thing. But I will tell you, I will get sidetracked, as you can tell by my desk. I meant to clean this up last night, came down this morning and went, oh, great. No, I didn't clean it up. 10 minutes. Really, seriously, 10 minutes. But this is my last frontier, by the way, of clutter and mess and being really obstinate in all of this. I plan on getting over the hump on this, but this is part of the alignment. There is always a piece left for us to put in the framework of how it is that we want to be living this, right? Isn't it so true? Carol says it's so rewarding when you conquer the cravings of what you no longer need. It's so true. It is so true. So yeah, pinkies up on all of that. I really believe that this, with all my heart, this is what it is. And we create life on our own terms for the type of vibrancy that we are seeking with all of our hearts. We do this, and this is all about alignment. And when you have all of your little precious ducks in a row, can you imagine how that would feel? Can you imagine? And one of the things that I have in here too is that we become those women who vibe on solution as opposed to vibing in the low on the problem itself. That's insane. Because when we do that, there's just nowhere to go with that. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. And something else too, this is part of my my reading that I've been doing, and I'm almost done with the book. High Performance Habits is success loves speed. That's my mantra. And that's how we get momentum going. And we can't delay. When we delay and we delay and we lose our momentum. We lose the capacity to go forward and to go faster. And we have to start over. And it's getting back on the bike and starting again and starting again. So success loves speed, meaning that as you put this together with one step, then you add in the next and you keep going, you develop momentum. And that's magical. That's your secret sauce, because success, again, loves speed, and it makes it so much easier. The other thing to consider too, as you're doing all of this and you're thinking about either doing like you're doing the Hot Milk 30, and even if you haven't started, we have a member in the Hot Milk Sprint group who said, confession, I haven't started. I say, so what? Start now. Now's a good time. Start now. We all have the ability to jump in anytime we want and start getting to success right now. We don't have to look back and say, well, those 2 weeks. Okay, those 2 weeks are gone. What are you going to do with today? That is the way that we high vibe too. That's the way that we high vibe. And when we're living like that, then we can start to take things in one at a time, and we can start to create that success to get the momentum going and to get that speed going. Success loves speed. Look at what happens with a domino. Does it just go down one domino and then we'll say, we'll wait, then another one, we'll wait again? No, it's one, two, blah, 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 blah. It goes slow at first and then boom, they go fast. That's physics right there. And it's also the way things work as you put them in place. This is why planning is so important. This is why creating time to do this. This is why using your goals and making them into I am statements and doing intentional goals like this and writing them every day creates a change of mind, and it creates momentum in your life. I know that because I'm experiencing myself, and I would tell you right now, I know you are too, because I've seen what you've been saying. Carol, you won't lose anymore. You'll stay where you need to stay. Don't worry. Don't be frightened. Be excited. Be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. Carol, have you seen her before and after pictures, by the way? Intense. So now one of the things that I met a personal trainer here, and I'm trying to get her to help us with some like very basic weightlifting stuff, because that's where I think we need to all go next. We all need to really buckle into that. It's not so much about what it's going to do. It's going to change your body. It's also going to change your physiology in a major way. And a lot of us have been, at least I have been told this thing, well, just work on the aerobics part, do the weight loss thing, do the weights later. It's not true. We need to do it all, and that doesn't mean that it has to be overwhelming and hours and all of that. It needs to be 5 minutes of this and 4 minutes of that and 3 minutes of this over here. All of these things add up and help you to become the best version of yourself that you can. And let me just say, I don't know if they've done this or not, and somebody can look this up, but I would like to know what the vibe is, or the vibe calculation is of what fat is versus what muscle is. Wouldn't you love to know that? I think it'd be very interesting. So when we're in high vibe, what are we doing? When we're in high vibe, we are fueling our bodies with high vibe food. That's an alignment assignment right there. That's an alliance that we make with food. And your taste buds start to change. I told you that I crave arugula lately, and I like it for its bitterness, but lately it started to taste sweet to me because I've been eating a ton of arugula. And I don't know if I like that or not, because I've really liked the bitterness of the whole thing. And I know it's not sweet. Mark says it's not sweet, it's bitter. It's just weird. But your taste buds change. That's an alignment with doing, with high vibe food. And we actually begin to crave the things that are going to do something for our bodies. That's an alignment assignment right there. High vibe living. And we're consciously connecting and being present in our relationships and building and having discussions and doing things. Yesterday, Mark and I had, let's say, a discussion, and it wasn't, I felt like we hurt each other's feelings. I'm sure we did. But the way we handled it, we gave each other some space to talk, and then we came back together. And my whole focus was at that point was, how do we connect from this? How do we get back and away from all of this? How do we become the connectors again, and not be disconnected from this and not carry grudges and all of that? I feel like sometimes, don't you agree with this, that sometimes we just have like these duffel bags stuffed full of old grudges that we lug along into our relationship, and then we open it up and unpack it well back in, July of last year, we don't want to do that to each other, do we? That isn't a relationship builder at all. That's a relationship chipper. It's low vibe. And, yesterday, that's not at all what we did. Yesterday, we talked in terms of our hearts and what we felt and all of that. And it brought us closer. You're with somebody all the time. It's not going to be beautiful sunshine and roses all the time. You want that, but it's also going to be something, something that's necessary for you to move the needle and make it happen. Oh, I know, Jay. I could tell you stories about JJ's, that book, and JJ. It's funny. That's when we met, is when that book first came out. And anyway, We did a couple of programs together. So we're consciously connecting and being present in our relationships instead of just kind of shoving them off to the side, instead of having them come as second, tier two type of things. We see and receive back from our efforts, and we're consciously making efforts to make them better. It doesn't just come. Good relationships are worked on. Have you ever seen a beautiful garden just happen? No. That's cultivated. And that's what relationships have to be cultivated, weeded and fertilized and watered and tended to daily. That's how you get a beautiful garden. And our thoughts stop becoming so burdensome. And I think burdensome is exactly what it should be called, burdensome. Because when our thoughts aren't serving, and when our thoughts are holding us back, and when our thoughts get in the way of what it is that we actually want, and we see nothing but hopelessness instead of a solution, then we find ourselves in the very low vibe place. And we're not where we want to be. So living in high vibe, we start to be solution oriented. We start seeking them out instead of marinating in our problems, because it's never done anything for anyone. That's the difference in this whole high vibe living. And then lastly, it's our souls. This is where we're fed, because we're at peace with the God who made us. We're at peace with He who put breath in our nostrils. Think about that for a minute. Just think about the enormity of that whole idea that somehow or some way God thought about you enough that He said, the world just wouldn't be that great of a place unless I had June and Kathy and Carol and Sarah and Gloria all here. Unless I decided, right now you need to be in my universe, and I need to put you right here in this place at this time. Think about that. And understand and know, because this is the truth. We're all privileged. We're all blessed. We're all daughters of the Most High King, who has His eye on you. You're precious. You have been called the apple of His eye, here on purpose and for purpose, fearfully and wonderfully made. And if you just sit with that, your vibe has to go up. It has to. You're not the little dog that's under the table hoping for the scraps. You're sitting at the left hand of the Most High King. It just, I don't know about you, but that just fully overwhelms me with such gratitude. And it's hard to even fathom, but it's the truth. And when we understand this, we know, one, we're enough, and two, that living in high vibe isn't just an option, it's the only way to go. Because then we can rise up and be in our purpose. Then we can rise up and look for what it is that He's calling us to do. You can't do that if you're too busy low vibing. You can't do that if all you're doing is just sitting there groveling and thinking everything is just the worst. You can't do that, because that's not where you're sitting. Have you looked at where you're sitting? Have you looked to see where you're sitting at the table? Have you? The daughter of the Most High King. The apple of His eye. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now, and I'm really blessed. And I hope you feel that way too, because we are called on purpose and for purpose, and we're also called to live a life that is decorated, saturated, and full of vibrancy. Because who do you think we serve? Who do you think He is? Do you think He's just sitting there hand wringing and thinking, oh, I just hope that Carol's going to pray today. I just hope that Sarah comes in and stops doing this. No. He's the glory. We can't even look at Him. His glory is so intense. And yet we're created in His image. So connect those dots, ladies, because this is how we rise up and hear the call. And the call is on you. It's on me. And it is our divine privilege to rise up and to be that kind of a woman, a wise woman who hears and listens and heeds the call. You ready to do that? I don't know about you, but man, I just feel like if I don't do it, if I am not going to be that woman, if I'm not going to do this, is he going to say, well done, my good and faithful servant? Or is he going to say, hey, what the heck? Why were you burying talents in your backyard? What's up, sis? Is he going to say that? Rise up. And let's all hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. This is how wise women rise up and come to their calling. He's calling you now, and you need to be listening. Rise up. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're the apple of his eye. You're here on purpose, for purpose, and it's up to you to answer that call. You cannot do that if you're going to grovel in your garbage. High vibe. This is how God does it. Everything is high vibe. Are you ready? Are you ready? Throw some pinkies up and some fireballs. Throw them all up. All the things. It's time. It's time. And boy, if you don't think we're going to dig for this stuff at our full bloom thing, if you're not going to come, at least get, I'm going to say this right now, at least get the virtual ticket. We can always upgrade you if you can make it, but I want you there. Boy, do I want you there, because it will be no accident. It will be on purpose and for purpose. And you're going to be there with your sisters making the magic happen. You don't think it will? Oh, let me tell you, it will happen. It will be everything and more, because we're in high vibe. That's how we roll. Thanks so much for joining me today. And man, I am so delighted. Look at Carol. She's got the firebomb. So does Gloria. Sarah, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining me. This is I really enjoyed this week. I hope you did. Next week, we're going to be all about time. We're going to talk about time. I think this is going to be good. So I hope to see you there. Gloria said it was magic for me. Oh, thank you, Gloria. I love you guys. Peace be with you. Pinkies up. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.